The world wants clean energy and fast, but the transition from fossil fuels to renewables is a bumpy road. From rising costs and supply chain snags to public resistance and outdated grids, the challenges are complex and impact countries worldwide. Even with the best intentions, communities sometimes push back against renewable energy projects. This not in my backyard or NIMBY mindset can delay wind farms in scenic areas like Germany's Bavaria region or small solar projects in the US due to visual concerns or noise complaints. Making things worse, the global economic slowdown means it costs more to build those solar panel arrays or towering wind turbines. Rising interest rates hike up the price of borrowing money, and inflation drives up the cost of everything from steel to the cables that carry the electricity generated from renewable energy. This hits poorer nations the hardest. A solar project in a developing nation can cost twice as much as that of a wealthy one, simply because they don't have access to cheap loans or subsidies. And even if you can overcome these hurdles, supply chain bottlenecks mean getting your hands on these essential parts for the renewable energy projects can take months longer than expected. Furthermore, even if you can afford to build solar arrays and wind farms, there's another hurdle: the power grid itself. Think of our traditional power grids as highways built for the steady flow of traffic. Solar and wind are unpredictable due to the nature of how they generate energy. Sometimes they generate enough energy to congest the highways, and other times it leaves the highway with too few cars. Wealthy, developed nations are facing this grid challenge. In Germany, for example, wind power projects are concentrated in the north of the country, but their older grid struggles to carry a large amount of power to the more energy demanding south of the country. This can lead to wasted energy generated by the renewables or grid instability. Japan, the world's fourth largest economy, faces a similar problem, but for a different reason. The country has two separate electric grids that serve the East and West, operating at different frequencies. This fragmentation makes it hard to distribute renewable energy efficiently across the whole country. For a power network to remain stable, the amount of electricity fed into the grid must be equal to that drawn out at any point in time. The lack of grid resources to handle the additional power generated by renewables means that wind and solar power sometimes are simply wasted. This obviously is the least desirable outcome when talking about any country reaching its climate targets and decreasing its reliance on fossil fuels. Even sunny California, a global leader in solar energy generation, sometimes can't handle the surge of solar energy on clear days. This means even with plentiful sunshine, which the state is known for, they might not be able to fully use that clean energy that's been generated. But the grid problem is far worse in the developing world. Many nations, particularly in sub-Saharan Africa, don't even have widespread access to a basic power grid. This means that even if these countries invest in solar or wind, they might not be able to connect those projects and deliver the energy generated to where it's needed most. These challenges are huge. However, they are not insurmountable. In the case of oversupply, changes have been underway in various countries, including the use of redispatch, in which the grid operator can ask conventional power stations to reduce the generation from their stations to ease congestion on the electric grid and give priority to renewable energy. This is the adoption of a merit order rule in which the cheapest energy source is used first, which is typically renewable energy. Another bright spot in the progress toward the energy transition is battery storage. Battery storage help to improve the capture of excess energy generated from wind and solar power, which eases grid strain and makes renewable energy sources more reliable. The technology is also improving rapidly. The US, for example, boasts 4 of the 5 world's largest facilities for battery storage, and Australia represents the 5th. Countries around the world are investing heavily in modernizing their electric grids. For example, smart grids. This type of grid uses sensors and advanced technology to manage power flow more intelligently and in real time, helping to integrate the addition of solar and wind energy resources more smoothly and efficiently. And there's innovation happening on a similar but more localized scale. Microgrids, which are self-contained energy systems, can power a neighborhood or community, becoming an island of energy stability during outages or periods of peak power demand. Residential systems like the Tesla Powerwall can also be networked together to form what's called virtual power plants, or VPPs, providing backup power to stabilize larger electricity grids, especially during emergencies or extreme weather events. Programs like this are already seeing success in California, Texas, and some parts of Europe. On the financing front, international programs are working to bridge the gap between wealthy and developing nations as it relates to the energy transition. Initiatives focused on lowering borrowing costs and providing technical support are helping developing countries tap into the potential of solar, wind, and other clean energy solutions. Clean energy success stories give us a glimpse of what's possible as it relates to the energy transition. Denmark leads the world in energy generated from wind power. The clean energy source generates 55% of the country's energy, proving that wind can be both a major and reliable energy source. Small off-grid solar projects are bringing electricity to villages across the African continent, with Rwanda, Kenya, and Ethiopia being key examples. The same holds true across Asia, with India, China, and parts of Southeast Asia rapidly expanding access to clean energy. Though these projects are often small and highly localized, these projects are transforming communities that never had reliable power before. The challenges to building a clean energy future are complex, far-reaching, and will require a coordinated global effort. By understanding these challenges, we can push for smarter energy policies, promote innovative solutions, and demand a future where access to clean power isn't just a privilege, but a right for everyone on the planet. As always, thanks for watching. For more from the definitive source for clean tech, sustainability, and e-mobility, make sure that you like and that you're subscribed to cleanearth.io.